Hello guys, welcome back. In today's video we are learning about higher order component. A higher order component is basically a function that takes a component and give it extra feature without changing the component itself. Let's say you have multiple components in your app and all of them need a loading state. Instead of repeating the same loading spinner code inside every component, we can wrap the component with a higher order component that handles loading for us. So enough of me talking, let's build a simple higher order component. We're gonna call it with loading. This higher order component will show a loading spinner if the component is loading and otherwise render the real component. Okay, let's go to the code, and here we are gonna create a folder. I'm gonna call it HOC which stands for higher order component, and within this folder we are going to create a file and we are gonna name it with loading. And now within this file we are gonna do some imports that we need. I think we need to import React on React, and then we are gonna in this we're gonna create we are gonna need these three elements: the activity indicator, the style sheet, and the view. So now we're gonna create a function and we're gonna export it because we are gonna use this function whenever we need it, right? Cons, and we're gonna name it with loading, and we are gonna pass this. I will explain what this line of code is doing, and let me finish typing this. Yeah, this is the line that we need, right? And so what this line means is what this is telling us is, okay, give me a component and I'll return a new component with extra features. So and then after that we are going to create a new component that takes all the original prop plus extra props. In this case the extra props will be its loading, right? So let's create that component, that new component inside this function const, and we're going to call it with loading component. And now here we are going to pass the extra props, right? I mean all the props plus its loading, right? So it will be props just like that. And then here within this component we are gonna handle the logic, right? Here is where all the magic is happening, right? So basically we need an if statement, and this if statement will pretty much, if it's telling us if loading is true, we don't render the original component at all. So what we are doing here, we are rendering the activity indicator, which is a loading, right? A loading state, and that's pretty much what we are doing here. So once this loading is done, what we are going to do is basically return we are going to pass all the props back to the original component and render it normally. So basically here we need a return, basically this, right? And we need to write some style, that's why we have this error. And at the end also we need to return that component, right? And here we are gonna add the styles just like that, and here we are gonna add the loading spinner style, which is about to be right. Yep. And this will show our spinner in the middle of the page, right? And that's basically it, right? And right after that we are going to reuse the presentational component container component from the last video. In the last video the loading was simple text, but in today's video we are using an activity indicator, as you can see here. But by wrapping it with our higher order component, it now supports loading without changing the component itself, right? Let's go to the presentational components, and we are going to reuse this code, right? I believe we can reuse this and this. That should be enough. Let's copy this. So here we are simulating the API call, right? So let's copy that and we are gonna paste it here, and let's do the import. React. So that's perfect. Let's change this to this. Okay, and that's, yeah, that's basically it now. And also we need to do another small chain here, and to support loading. So we're gonna add it's loading here. It will be optional. That's it, right? So now that we have all of this in place, what we have to do is also add another state here, which will take care of the loading state. Basically, const it's loading, yeah, it's loading, and the default value will be to true. And then we need to set it to false when the loading once the API call is done, right? And yeah, basically that's all we need to do here. And now, in order to use our higher order component that we just created with loading, we need to create constants here, and we're gonna call it user car with loading. And let's import this. Yes, and let's import our car, right? Yes. And now what we need to do is in our main component, or in our container, what we need to do is basically, oh, let me show that in the simulator so we can see the changes here. So now what we need to do here is basically use car with loading, and we pass all the data as before, and we are adding the loading here, right? And basically that should do it, right? And we are gonna add the pressables from our presentational component, so we can go back. So we are gonna copy this, and we are gonna paste it, I think, up here. And we need to do the imports. Well, we need to create the router. Let me do that in a little bit. And we need to do the hook for the router, and just like that, we need to import that from export router, and that should do it. As you can see, there is the loading. When you go back, there is the loading, and that's basically what our higher component is doing, right? We are they are basically we are reusing our car, but also we are modifying that car by adding the loading state, right? In this case, we didn't modify our car. We are using our higher component to do that. They are great when you want to reuse logic without rewriting or modifying your component, right? And this is the way the higher component works, right? You give it a component, it returns a new component, then the new component has extra functionality. So instead of changing your component, you wrap it with something that adds new behavior. And that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more React Native content. And if you want this code, it will be in the link in the description. Thank you, guys.